The WNBA tried to capitalize on her popularity and crammed a lot of games in over a short amount of time, playing against the best teams in the WNBA.
Caitlin Clark just uncovered the biggest falsehood in women's basketball and made $76,000 seem like pocket change. Everything changed when she mentioned season tickets. Despite having a $200 million TV deal and record viewership, the WNBA's biggest star is unable to purchase tickets to her own games. Give that some thought. All of the Indiana Fever's season tickets were sold out. Sales of jerseys increased by 1,193%. Sales of beer are increased 740%. The number of hot dogs tripled. It's a gold rush. The lady in charge of it all, Caitlin Clark, earns $76,000 a year. Some assistant coaches earn more than that. This is when things get crazy. After abandoning a career-defining comrade, Lexi Hull makes a joke about purchasing season tickets for her family throughout the performance. The reality bomb is dropped by Caitlin. They are really pricey. To obtain those is equivalent to our entire pay. I'm serious. Abrupt silence. Camera cuts. Awkward chuckles. She just expressed what everyone was thinking, but no one had the courage to acknowledge it. The total payroll for Fever is $1.2 million. That is less than what an NBA rookie with just 1 year of experience earns. In the NBA, one player earns more than the Indiana Fever's whole squad put together. Here's the worst part, though. Caitlin Clark appeared in 16 of the 18 WNBA games that drew more than 1 million viewers this season. The Storm versus the Fever, 2.2 million people watch the game. People watch her play. Crickets when she doesn't. 577,000 people watched the Liberty versus Aces game, which featured superstars A.A. Wilson and Breanna Stewart. Good figures, don't you think? Incorrect. That is being quadrupled by Caitlin Clark's games. She is the needle, not just the one moving it. In Indiana, corporate relationships have increased by 225%. Concession sales are skyrocketing. Fever games alone sold 2,826 gallons of craft beer. For the league, this woman is printing money. What is the prize for her? A 4-year agreement of $338,000. $6,595 is her rookie salary. You correctly read that. $65.95. Let's now discuss what transpired when she's shown emotion. Against Seattle in the third quarter. In fury, Caitlin punches the basket after missing a shot. Technical foul right away. In fact, the referee informed her that it was insulting to the game of basketball. Disrespectful to the game. From the beginning, the same game has disregarded her salary. Caitlin, however, handled it like a pro. She claimed that neither my team nor the other team had anything to do with it. I'm a rival. I thought I ought to have taken more pictures. She then thanked the referee for the technology since it inspired her to put in more effort. That's the attitude of someone who is already more powerful than the league she plays in. She is shattering rookie records all over the place in the interim. 232 assists in a season, breaking the previous record for rookies. She is on track to surpass Alyssa Thomas's record of 316 assists in a single season. She has already created history with 12 games remaining. However, the disdain extends beyond texts and salaries. Let's discuss what transpired with Team USA. The Olympic roster does not include Caitlin Clark. As the squad travels to Paris, the biggest attraction in women's basketball left home. In an attempt to profit from her popularity, the WNBA packed a lot of games into a short period of time, including back-to-back games against the top teams in the league. She pauses to recharge and returns fully. People like to compare her to Angel Reese because of her unstoppable AP Player of the Week, record-breaking performances, and ability to lead her team to significance. To be clear, Angel Reese is extraordinary. Although she's enjoying a fantastic rookie season, it would be unfair to compare her to Caitlin Clark right now. As a rookie, Caitlin is already among the top 5 players in the WNBA. That isn't a viewpoint. The figures indicate that. You can tell we're seeing a generational transition when the discussion moves from Rookie of the Year to her place among the greatest rookies of all time, among Candace Parker and Maya Moore. There are those who wish to minimize it. Oh, The reason she's receiving attention is buzz surrounding college. Yes, she is being pushed by the media. Yes, she is receiving special treatment. Preferential treatment. Despite earning millions, she is only making $76,000. More than anyone else in the league, she is being fouled. In order to prevent her from setting a triple-double record, Seattle actually removed their starter. 20 or more points and 10 or more assists in 3 consecutive games. They also changed their lineup to avoid making history. Then, during a dead ball, Skylar Diggins-Smith accelerates and collides with Caitlin. It was needless, petty, and envious, and everyone saw it. Although it is painful, the truth must be acknowledged. Some WNBA players are more concentrated than others on destroying Caitlin rather of improving their own performance. The underlying hostility and jealousy is clear. This is what those athletes fail to comprehend, though. Every boat is lifted by a rising tide. During a press conference, Caitlin Clark discussed flying commercials. WNBA players had to contend with delays while crammed into economy seats and lugging their own bags. She didn't need to speak. She spoke up despite having her suitcase secured, her Nike agreement, and her endorsements. And you know what took place? The league announced charter flights because Caitlin Clark utilized her platform to draw attention to the difficulty before she ever played a regular season game as a professional, not because of some big scheme. She joined the league and searched for players who had been working hard for years prior to her arrival right away. Leadership is that. That's making use of your privilege to bring about change. Even so, some players behave as though she were the adversary. They ought to be thanking her every day and putting her picture on a billboard. This is the math that no one wants to discuss. The WNBA has inked a $200 million TV contract that could grow to $260 million annually. That is enormous, even historic. However, the 2020 collective bargaining agreement is valid until 2027. The current surge in popularity is not reflected in the out-of-date agreements that cap player compensation. Demand and supply are changing instantly. And the reason for that is Caitlin Clark. She is rewriting what women's basketball is capable of. She is pressuring people to talk about respect, pay, equity, and travel conditions. Most WNBA players don't have access to endorsement deals. They are subsisting on $76,000 annually in high-cost cities. That's hardly money for an opulent lifestyle. In 2025, that is hardly enough for a typical lifestyle. Through endorsements, Caitlin is earning millions of dollars. Yes. However, she is also pointing out how ridiculous the scenario is. You should know everything if the league's face is criticizing the compensation structure. Let's now discuss the story of the Rookie of the Year. People are constantly attempting to turn it into a discussion. It's not. The winner is going to be Caitlin Clark. Furthermore, it's not even close. Angel Reese has been amazing. Impact player, tenacious rebounder, double-double machine. However, this has nothing to do with goodness. Who is transcendent is at issue. As of right now, just one rookie is quadrupling league viewership, leading her team to postseason contention, and setting new records. Rookie of the Year isn't the actual topic of discussion. It concerns whether Caitlin Clark's first season is the greatest in WNBA history. To be honest, she may be. As a rookie, Candace Parker was named MVP. That is legendary. However, A.A. Wilson was not in the league with her. In what many are calling a historic regular season, Caitlin could end up as the runner-up for MVP. As a rookie, Maya Moore won a title. That is amazing. However, she was on a team that is stacked. Almost by herself, Caitlin is bringing the fever to relevancy. A third competitor is not trailing in this two-horse race. Aja Wilson and Breanna Stewart are fighting for second and third place, but Caitlin Clark is in a class by herself. To those who claim that AJ is obviously superior, let's face it, AJ is outstanding. MVP caliber, dominant elite, but the difference isn't as great as people believe, particularly when comparing individual statistics to team achievement. When the Jaws team was 6-6 early in the season, her scoring didn't translate into victories the way Caitlin's playmaking had for Indiana. And although it's closer than the story implies, Ja is still the superior player overall. Stewart, Brianna in a slump. This talk would be different if she was performing at her best. However, Caitlyn is currently surpassing expectations and redefining what a novice may achieve. This is a reality check. The headlines belong to the WNBA. The supporters are with them. They have the audience. They have a generational superstar who is attracting corporate funding and public attention. When will they finally give these women the compensation they deserve? Due to her limited playing time during the first week of the season, Caitlin Clark is unlikely to win MVP. However, that is a technicality. Everyone is aware of who the league's most valued player is. This season, the Fever are the only team to have won numerous Player of the Week awards. That demonstrates the culture Caitlyn is fostering. She's not only dominating on her own. Everyone in her vicinity is improving because of her. Caitlyn was the first to become excited about Lexi Hull after she scored a career-high 22 points. She made a joke about how her social media pages were becoming Lexi Hull fan pages. Leadership is that. That's humility. That person is aware that basketball is a team sport. Caitlyn is always complimenting Kelsey Mitchell, who has been outstanding throughout the season. In response to a question concerning Mitchell's heroics in the fourth quarter, Caitlyn stated that she simply steps up during significant situations. She had been doing that all year. I'm overjoyed for her. This person may claim all the praise, all the glory, and all the focus. Rather, she is focusing her appreciation on her teammates. The Fever are flourishing because of this. However, earlier in the season, the league made an effort to keep Kelsey Mitchell in limbo. Questions about the roster, contracts, and anything else. Then, to everyone's amazement, Mitchell is kept. 6 players can be retained by the Fever. They are also not going to let her go. Not with the chemistry she has with Caitlyn, not with the manner she has been playing. Let's now discuss the incident that has everyone talking. The audience is getting excited about Caitlyn. The amount of energy is enormous. During a dead ball, Skylar Diggins-Smith accelerates to make contact with her. Put an end to this. You're upset because that corn-fed Iowa girl is making fun of you. You claim that she is also weak. This is not something she can do. She is unable to accomplish that. In assists, she leads the WNBA. She's in the kitchen. Allow her to prepare meals. That's the current energy. Players are losing sight of the wider picture because they are so preoccupied with trying to take out Caitlyn. Your pay may actually increase because of her. The existence of charter flights can be attributed to her. Corporate sponsors are flocking the league because of her. Get your coat, your bag, and get out of my way, I would say to Skylar Diggins if I were Caitlyn Clark. Because I'm transforming the whole women's basketball scene while you're out here playing trivial games. It's really petty. It's clear that they are jealous. However, Caitlyn continues to dominate and keep her head down. She's out there shattering records, cutting through defenses, dropping dimes, and using double-edged sword energy to boil both sides. Both she and the league are benefiting from her success. The women ought to extend a warm welcome to her and value her contributions. Indeed, that also applies to Angel Reese and the other rookies who are succeeding. The most of the headlines are about Caitlyn and Angel. That's the way things are. However, the fact that they are attracting new people to the game is a positive thing. Everyone benefits from the mainstream buzz and fresh energy. The league's improper capitalization is the larger problem here. A $200 million TV agreement was signed. The number of viewers is soaring. The level of interest has never been higher. However, the topic of income disparity and travel circumstances continues to dominate discussions. It was best expressed by Stephen A. Smith. You have to sit up there and watch the tide as it rises. All boats are lifted by it. You can approach Caitlyn Clark as fiercely as your competitive nature demands, but in the process, you should come to adore her. She spoke about flying commercially at a news conference. It wasn't until she said that the league made any adjustments. Oh, why did it have to come to that, is a common complaint. Ignore all of that. She carried it out. She was not required to. However, she did. She received her contract, her luggage, her endorsements. However, she raised awareness of the issues these women have faced for years before she even participated in a regular season game. Impact is that. Legacy is that goes beyond basketball. The figures are accurate. 1.21 million people watched the Liberty vs. Mercury game. On a different network, the Liberty vs. Aces game featuring AJ Wilson and Breanna Stewart only managed 577,000. Viewership for Caitlin Clark has doubled, tripled, and quadrupled. Casual fans are watching because of her. The WNBA is finally making progress because of her. Here's what makes it even more ridiculous. She is underpaid for all of this work, disrespected, and physically assaulted. She is being smacked with texts for expressing emotion, bumped on dead balls, and bashed on drives. What if LeBron or Steph were treated this way when they join the NBA? There would be a loud outcry. However, some act as though Caitlin should simply shut up and be appreciative since it's the WNBA. For what are you thankful? A salary of $76,000 despite earning millions. While the league makes some TV money, I'm thankful for commercial planes. Despite being the biggest attraction in the sport, I'm thankful that I wasn't selected for the Olympics. No, Caitlin Clark and all the other women in the WNBA deserve better. This has to do with greater than basketball. Respect is at issue here. This has to do with equity. This has to do with identifying value and paying appropriately. The WNBA is at a turning point in its history. They have two options. Either they take advantage of this trend and create something sustainable, or they make a mistake and squander a chance for future generations. Caitlin Clark has contributed. She has attracted admirers. The buzz has been brought by her. She has the cash. It's time for the league to take action and treat her and all the other players who are working hard in this league fairly. Because someone else will if they don't. And when that occurs, the WNBA will reflect on this. They let it slip away after realizing they had lightning in a bottle. The world was just permanently altered by Caitlin Clark. Not with a title or an MVP, but by creating the most significant dialogue in women's basketball history. There is no turning back now, whether the league agrees with it or not.